In this example, we have y times 1 over a squared y times a z squared. Let's go ahead and write it all combined. So our y gets multiplied by the top. We can write this as one big fraction, y times 1. We don't need to write the 1 times a z squared. And our bottom is just a squared times y. A squared times y. Now if you'll look, we have the same variable in multiple places, so let's just go ahead and combine. Here we have our y, we have both y's are to the power of 1. So if we brought this up and combined it, that would give us y to the power of 1 minus 1, which would give us y to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So we can just cross this out because it's going to cancel. Now we're just left with our a's here. So if we brought, because in our solution we always want to be left with a positive exponent. And if you're left with a negative exponent, you just need to move the variable to the opposite side of the fraction bar. But anyway, our positive variable for a would be on the bottom because we have more a's on the bottom than the top. So let's just subtract this a from this a for the variables. So that would give us a2 minus a1. It'd just give us a. So we can write this all as z squared over a. And that is our solution for this example. In this example, we can use factoring to simplify the expression even more than just basic multiplication. If you'll notice, we have a difference of squares expression here inside of our whole expression. So what we need to do is just think about this as its own problem, factor that, and then address the entire expression. So let's just go ahead and factor our difference of squares. If you remember, step 1 is to find the square root of the first and third term. So square root of x squared is x, square root of y squared is y, and then you can just write that as x plus y, x minus y. If you forgot this, feel free to review the difference of squares factoring. Now that we have this factored, we can address the problem as a whole. So let me just rewrite this over here. Okay, so what do you notice? That we have a like term. This might be hard to see, but you have an x minus y on the top and then an x minus y on the bottom. So if you were to combine the variables, that would give you 1 minus 1, which is equal to 0, and anything to the power of 0 is 1. So we can actually just cross the x minus y's out. And that leaves us just with the top of the fraction. So at this point, we don't even need a fraction bar. But let's go ahead and multiply this. So now we can just multiply, I'll write this as 2x plus 2y, x plus y. Now we can write 2x times x is 2x squared. And then we have 2y times x gives us plus 2xy. Now we have our 2x times y again, plus 2xy. And then we have our 2y times y, which gives us plus 2y squared. And what do we have? We have another like term. Let's go ahead and combine those. So it gives us 2x squared plus 2 is 4xy plus 2 y squared. And that is our solution. So how do we divide? It's actually a lot like multiplication. All we do is when we see a division symbol, for the term right after it, we just put it underneath the fraction bar or reverse it if it's already a fraction, and we turn it into a multiplication problem. So this expression here can also be written as this, az squared times 1 over ax. Do you see how this was ax over 1, and then we just flipped it upside down? Because whenever something doesn't have a fraction bar, it's divided by 1. So we just flipped it upside down, and now we can multiply it just like before. So we have az squared for the top divided by ax. Now we can cancel out our a's, so that leaves us with z squared over x, and that is our solution for this example. In this example, we have another division problem. So what do? We just flip what's after the division sign. We just flip the fraction, so we can write this as y over x times z over 1. But the 1 goes away because it's just z. So we can multiply that. That gives us y times z over x, and that's our solution for this example. Once again, anytime you see a division sign, you just flip what's immediately after it, flip it with respect to the fraction bar.
Hey guys, if this video has been helpful to you, click the link in the description to get access to the complete Easy STEM Algebra 1 system, which includes a textbook, homework, and all of the course videos in order.